What is up, 5-1 New York Giants fans? What's going on out there, you guys? We walk away with another W today against the Baltimore Ravens, 24-20. 5-1, man. This team is 5-1 and on a roll right now. Won another game that I didn't necessarily think we were going to win. That's back-to-back weeks we put W's on the board against two solid football teams. Now, say what you want about the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, they kind of look like they're on the way down, but the Baltimore Ravens today, that's a solid football team we just beat today, man. That's a solid football team. And I think there's a lot of belief behind this New York Giants team right now. They've made me a believer. I'm with them all the way at this point, man. All the way. There's no doubt in my mind when it comes to this team at this point. I think they can go out there week in and week out and beat just about anybody they go up against within reason. Big win today, man. Big time win today. Defense came out. We struggled against the run game. Kenyon Drake came out, had, I think, 117 yards against this defense. We had trouble containing the outside. There's a lot of cutback runs from Kenyon Drake, and he was killing this defensive line and just killing this defense overall on the ground. Lamar Jackson had a few runs here and there for a good 20 to 30 yards at times here and there. Lamar is always a factor in the running game. Maybe not necessarily 20 to 30 yards, but he seemed like he had a few runs that were over 15 to 20 yards in this ball game. But, man, the defense came out. They held their own against the rest of the Ravens wide receiver core outside of Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews came out and did what Mark Andrews does, had, 119 yards. I think he had a touchdown as well. But, Andrews is just a tough guy to stop, man. The guy's 6'7", over 250 pounds. He's just an unstoppable force at the tight end position, man. He's just a tough, one of the best tight ends in this league next to Kelsey. Might be better than Kelsey at this point. Who knows? But that's a big statement within itself, even though I think he did have more yards than Travis Kelsey last year, if I'm not mistaken. But, man, this team just continues to fight. Daniel Jones, again, comes out and plays a hell of a game. 19 of 27, had 197 yards, threw 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. 2 touchdowns in that ball game. A late touchdown to Daniel Bellinger, who also contributed, 36 yards in the ball game himself. Bellinger is turning into a very reliable option for this team at the tight end position, something that we have not had on this team for many, many years at the tight end position. Bellinger continues to play well. Wan'Dale Robinson in his first game back caught himself a touchdown pass, made a couple of really solid grabs in this ball game to keep, drives going and just help us move the ball down the field in this one, man. We had some wide receiver help in this one, something that we desperately needed. Darius Slayton, not necessarily the big-time factor that he was last week, but he also came out, had a few catches here and there, had a drop, midway through the ball game on a third down. It was either on a third down or a second down play. But, Slayton's been contributing. He's been doing what we need him to do. But Wan'Dale Robinson came out, and Daniel Bellinger, those guys were the big-time factors in that passing attack. Saquon Barkley came out, had, I think he was over 80 yards again. Could have scored another touchdown late in the ball game, but he decided to take that knee at the end and run out the rest of the clock. But, man, this team is just hitting on all cylinders, man, on both sides of the ball. If we can get that running game under control as far as stopping that goes, it's just a solid team, man. And again, Daniel Jones, as much crap as I've given him this year, now this whole entire fan base probably would have been ripping Daniel Jones a new one for that interception at the end of the game. Luckily, there was a pass interference call on the play, which it definitely was. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Ravens fans can say what they want about that call, but that was most definitely a pass interference penalty on the Baltimore Ravens on that specific play. A lot of Ravens fans are going to say that the refs gave us that one, this, that, and the other. But, if they say something like that, we can always just revert back to that delay of game call that was completely missed, where the play clock was at 0 for nearly 2 seconds, before Lamar Jackson snapped the ball and threw the touchdown down the field to Mark Andrews on that one play. That gave them the lead and put them up 20 to 10 at that point. But, man, this team just kept on fighting after that specific play. Just like the game last week, we were down 17-3, and we came right back and put another W in the win column for the New York Giants. And we continue to put the pressure on the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, who play tonight. So that's a big game between those two. We could be tied for first, man, if Dallas comes out and gets the W against Philadelphia. Could be tied for first. But this team is in a position right now that nobody really saw us in. At this point in the season, 6 games in, I don't think any of us had us pegged at 5-1, which is pretty insane. Pretty insane if you think about where this team was the past couple of years, the past 4 to 5 seasons. They have come a long, long way. Brian Dable has his team playing excellent, excellent football. Coach of the Year candidate. I mean, I don't know who else you could choose at this point. Guy has just been awesome. Him and Mike Kafka also calling the plays up there in the box for this offense. But, man, the Giants come out, get the W. We're all fired up as Giants fans. I'm fired up, man. I know you guys are fired up out there, too. Let's keep this thing going. Let's get another W next week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And let's see what happens, man. Go Giants.